Welcome back to Cyber Chat Episode 9. Hashtag Muslim Community of Pasig as Co-Advocates.
At now, kasama na natin ang ating kapatid, kapamilya at kapuso sa Cyber Guardians PH. Introduce mo na siya, Miel.
Alam mo ba, Kuya Archie, our guest is an education professional with extensive experience in teaching, school administration, and community development. Also, she is a licensed professional teacher. In addition to her professional roles, she is also an active member of the Inspired Young Optimist Guild, a socio-civic organization based at Mindanao State University, Main, Marawi. The organization is committed to youth empowerment, peace advocacy, environmental awareness, and networking. And she is also a member of Salam People Advocacy Group or SPAG. Welcome to Cyber Chat, Ma'am Normala Maulana.
Good day, Mel. Good day, Archie. And assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh to everyone. And thank you for inviting me here.
Yon. So, kamusta ka na, ate? Alam niyo mga ka-chatters, huli kami nagkasama ni Ate Nor noong June 28 to 29 sa Sagip Bata Workshop conducted by Tanghalang Pilipino in partnership with Cyber Guardians PH.
Pero, teka muna, Kuya Archie. Bago natin pagkwentuhan yung mga events na magkasama-sama tayo, nabasa ko kasi yung bio note ni Ate Nor at medyo na-amaze talaga ako. Like, she was a child-friendly space supervisor for the victims of the Marawi siege. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Mel. That siege, Marawi siege was way back 2017. Sobrang bata pa nyo siguro nun, no? Baka elementary pa kayo at nung paghahalataang medyo senior na tayo dito.
Ako naman, actually, ate, nasa senior high school ako that time. At naalala ko nga parang merong pina-assignment sa amin kasi puro yun ang laman ng balita. Sige nga ate, baka pwede nyo namang ikwento sa amin. Ano ba yung task na perform nyo during that time?
As a child-friendly supervisor, that project was headed by the Catholic Relief Services in partnership with the MSU IIT IPDM. So, my task was, I was assigned in one of the evacuation center in Iligan City. And to add na lang din, hindi lang ako isang facilitator and someone na nagbibigay ng service. I was a victim also. I was there during the Marawi siege. So, the trauma is there talaga. And I can empathize with the victims and I can feel the pain kasi I'm also a victim. So, with my task, we created modules with the CRS and partnership with the MSU IIT IPDM to create activities that will, cater the children, lalo na sila yung vulnerable that times. Kasi yung trauma, hindi mo mawawala sa kanila. Hindi nila alam anong nangyayari and they were displaced in their places.
Yes, ate. Before natin ikwento yung mga experiences mo, no? Para sa mga audience nating Gen Z at sa millennials na hindi alam yung nangyari, balikan natin, ano nga ba yung nangyari ng Marawi Siege?
So what really happened noong 2017, yung Battle of Marawi Siege na yan, it's a Philippine military against the IS allied group. So I don't know if you're familiar. For sure, some of you are not familiar with this incident. So this allied group, IS allied group, are the multi-group. So to add that multi-group is actually people na taga Marawi. So it was a long conflict, and that conflict is nag-result into killing many civilians, nasira yung mga bahay, and sobrang tagal na nangyaring battle na yan. Kasi ako bilang taga Marawi at pinanganak sa Marawi, we are used to battle. Laging may barilan, lagi talagang may gulo. But we never expected na that Marawi siege will take like 6 months of battle, like ground battle, sa mismong center ng Marawi City. Kasi usually, ginagawa yan sa mga wala masyadong bahay or sa open ground. But this time, it was really in the city, na center ng Marawi City. And to add lang din, no, hindi lang kasi 6 months yung naging battle. Though yung battle na nagkaroon ng bombahan, took like 5 months to 6 months. But the displaced people, like 3 years. 1 year and more than hanggang ngayon may mga hindi pa nakakabalik.
Grabe, kinikilabutan ako dun. And I'm so sorry, Ate Nor, no, na na-experience mo yung mga ganong klase ng trauma. And if my memory serves right, noong mga panahon na yun, nakikita ko lang siya sa TV, no? Nakikita natin yung bombahan. And tuloy-tuloy nga yan, 6 months, no? And nabasa ko din yan noon palang Philippine Armed Forces naman. They are detained and ill-treated fleeing civilians, and they are also engaged in looting. Nagkaroon ng extensive bombing yung mga militant held din sa Marawi City.
Yes, and I'm so napaka-unfortunate talaga kasi ang mga civilians disregard the religion. Ang bomba walang pinipiling religion. Everyone is a victim. Everyone can be a target. Though may mga cases na nagkaroon ng parang mass kidnapping with the non-Muslim civilians. But also, we cannot disregard the fact that na even us, na taga Marawi City, a Muslim, talaga, we are being a victim also and targeted. Because, again, a bomb has no definite target or specific target na pag binomba to, hindi pwedeng kasama ang Muslim community. We are also a victim and everyone can be a victim. And that's siguro yung parang masakit isipin na the group or they have their may pinaglalaban sila but hindi nila nakita na malaki yung pwedeng maging impact niyan sa society, no, lalo na sa area namin bilang mga Muslim.
Wow, grabe, Ate Norman. Nakakatakot talaga yung story mo, no? Napaka-disturbing, yet you continued to be a voice para sa mga inaapi. And napaka-empowering nun para sa aming mga youth leaders. And Ate Nor, pwede mo bang i-share sa amin briefly yung naging role mo as a child-friendly space supervisor for the victims of the Marawi Siege? Ano yung most unforgettable experience mo as you were exposed to children with trauma, and paano yung experience na to naka-apekto sa life mo ngayon?
So yeah, kanina na-mention ko that the project actually is being initiated by the Catholic Relief Services in coordination and partnership with the MSUI IT-IPD. My role is to actually facilitate trauma healing activities with the children and also conduct a seminar with child protection and women's rights. So we created a modules, so may mga series of activities dyan na ginawa, and then in-implement namin, facilitate namin sa area kung saan kami na-assign. So ako, I was assigned in one of the evacuation center in the Pacalundo, Iligan City. So I met like more than less 100 families in the evacuation center. So yun po. So kumuha kami ng data, ilan yung mga bata doon kasi our target is with the children aged like 3 to 15 years old. So we conduct series of activities on that, and also we nagtayo kami ng child-friendly space talaga, like concrete na place where they can enjoy playing, enjoy like talking, ganyan. So yun po. And with the parents also, kasi hindi naman pwedeng sa mga bata lang din. So we also have seminars na ginagawa with the parents for child protection and women's right, wherein kinukwento namin dyan or sinasabi namin dyan kung ano ba ang child protection under the civil law, the Philippine law, and at the same time the Sharia law. So actually they have the same talaga pagdating sa child protection and women's right. That experience, no, yung trauma as a victim also, it really affects my point of view, yung pananaw ko sa society. Lalo na as someone na nagbibigay din ng trauma healing, actually I was also healing myself during the activities, no, kasi pare-parehas kami mga victim. But siguro mas naging wide talaga yung knowledge ko at mas naging open ako kasi who would have thought na may ganung mangyayari, and someone na nasa Marawi City din na akala namin magiging facilitator lang kami somewhere, but we will be a facilitator of also with our own family. So sobrang laki niya kasi you have to have a strong faith at the same time. Maging strong talaga yung emotion mo because you have to face these kids na kailangan matatag ka. Kailangan din ipakita mo na everything happens for a reason and kailangan ipakita din natin na matatapos din kung ano man yung nangyari, kaya natin mag-move forward, and sobrang hirap kasi mga bata yan. Hindi kayang mag-grasp agad ng mga ganong ideas, no? So, during the interventions na ginawa namin, since that project took like 6 months, so we're given like 3 months to implement and facilitate the activities. And nakita namin na at least somehow, hindi natin kasi makukuha agad yung kagustuhan natin na ma-erase yan sa kanila. But giving them the space to like be normal. Hindi nila ma-feel na mayroong mga bomba. Hindi nila ma-feel na, ay, displaced kami, nasaan kami. Mabigyan man lang sila ng space na makapaglaro, natigil sila sa pag-aaral, at least medyo ma-feel nila na, mayroon pa rin po palang mga teacher, mayroon pa rin palang nagtuturo sa amin kahit nandito kami. So parang ipa-feel lang namin na kahit pa paano parang nasa bakasyon. Pero, you know, it really took a lot of efforts and mahabang panahon para talaga ma-heal ang mga bata. But with this short intervention, at least medyo na-divert natin ng kaunti. Kasi mahirap i-heal ang trauma sa bata, lalo na pag ang memorya niya lagi ay naka-instill doon sa pangyayari. So at least may konting ano lang na napapasaya sila, nabibigyan sila ng oras or ng time para magawa nila yung normal na ginagawa ng isang bata. Same with also the teenager. Ito mga naging kasama ko, like mga professional, Mindanao State University graduates from community development, from social work, from business administration, and hindi siya masyadong naging mabusisi pagdating sa pagpapartner because it's a urgent na pag-respond. So, hindi mo ma-reach out lahat dahil this place, actually, ako that time nung na-reach out ako and I applied for the role, I was in the Gensan. So, Gensan to Iligan City, iikot ako from Gensan to Davao, Davao to Cagayan kasi hindi madadaanan ng Marawi City. Lockdown siya. So, umikot talaga ako para lang mapuntahan ko or makarating ako sa Iligan City. So, yung mga gusto naming i-reach out ng mga professionals, mahirap kasi yun nga, displaced and lockdown. So, ang daming checkpoints. Yun. So, nagkaroon kami ng parang TOT, tinuro sa amin, and of course, with our background also, me as a community development graduate, may kami pagdating sa mga community activities, and very hands-on kami doon.
Alam mo, Ate Nor, thank you so much for sharing your story. No? Knowing na nandun ka na rin sa Marawi City, nandun ka sa trauma, and nakakapag-extend ka pa ng help sa community mo. And you mentioned kanina na graduate ka ng community development, right?
Wait,
Yes.
community development? Ano ba yun? Ano ginagawa mo ron, Ate Norm? Bakit sa lahat ng pwedeng maging course, ayun pa talaga? Bakit hindi yung mga high-paying job, like yung mga stereotypical jobs na nursing, accountant, engineering, bakit doon pa?
Okay, very good question talaga, Mel, no? Kasi for the information din ng mga nakikinig at nanonood, no, they're not very familiar with the community development course. Kasi if I'm not mistaken, only Mindanao State University and the UP ang nag-o-offer ng ganong course. So what is community development nga ba? Actually, no, nung high school ako, ang aking first choice na course na iti-take ko ay architect. And my second choice is engineering. And my third choice is nursing. And all of that, nawala. Kasi architect, hindi siya ino-offer sa MSU that time. And very, siya, mahal. Same with the engineering at the same time, no, yung nursing. So, first enter ko ng Mindanao State University. Kung titignan niyo yung background ng education ko, I was a first year student ng public administration. And I shifted to, I opt to shift in social work. But I end up enrolling in the community development. And these 3 courses actually under in a one college, public affairs. So, lahat ng trabaho o lahat ng core ng courses na ito, major nila, it's about government and community development and community serving. Kasi social work and community development are actually a mother, kumbaga sister course sila. So, community development, first, hindi ko siya alam. But when I, parang nandun ako sa mga majorship, at the same time, member ako ng Inspired Young Optimist Guild. The Inspired Young Optimist Guild is one of the organization existing in the Mindanao State University. And they do, kumbaga, one of their advocacy is youth empowerment. And it aligns with the community development course. So parang mas nagbuo kumbaga, yung love ko and advocacy ko to serve community because I am loving the organization I'm affiliated with. Kasi gusto namin yung ginagawa namin na leadership training program with the youth sectors. We do outreach program, which is pagdating sa mga nangangailangan. Actually, nung Bagyong Sendong, we were one of the actors na kumuha talaga ng, kumbaga, nangalap ng donasyon to help those victims naman ng Iligan City. So, doon nabuo yung love ko to serve community. Kasi, during hindi pa kami nag-major sa community development, sa organization pa lang, pumupunta na kami sa mga bundok because we do outreach program. We also conduct leadership training programs sa mga youth across Marawi City. We also do environmental awareness, which is pumupunta kami sa isang place at nag-facilitate kami at nagkakandak kami ng cleanup drive. And within the Mindanao State University also, we do cleanup drive. And networking, nakikipag-network din kami sa mga LGUs, nakikipag-collaborate kami. And community development aligns to those advocacy. That's why sobrang naging ko siya na, maybe I am doing the right and I am parang pursuing the right course. Because when I was deployed na for my practicum, 6 months practicum, one of the barangay in Bacolod, Lanao del Norte, there were actually parang 0 Muslim community there. And I was so fascinated kasi parang challenge siya sa akin na, wow, this place pala is existing. Sobrang layo, as in bundok siya, and we stayed there for 6 months. So nasa bundok kami for 6 months, walang uwian. Makikipag-usap ka sa mga tao doon at ipapaliwanag nyo sa kanila kung ano ba yung daladalan nyo, bakit kayo nandoon. And to help this, kumbaga, marginalized people, tapos makapagbigay ka ng konting tulong, ma-empower mo sila. Sobrang laking, hindi mapapantayan ng kahit anong salapi. Lalo na kapag natutuwa sila na, ay, mayroon palang pwedeng mag-connect ng ganito. Pwede po pala kaming makipag-connect sa LGU. Yung fact lang na nalalaman nila na may mga ganitong programa sa city, na pwede pala silang makipag-coordinate and makipag-network sa kanila. Sobrang laking bagay na yon. And hindi talaga siya mapapantayan ng, kumbaga, kahit anong salapi. Kasi sinasabi ka ni Mel, no? Bakit hindi ko pinili yung high-paying? Kasi, living in this, sa earth na to, laging question ko minsan sa sarili ko, pag namatay ako, ano ba yung gusto kong maiwan? No? Parang, ano ba yung gusto kong maging purpose? Parang pag narinig ba si Normala, nurse yan. Ano yan? Yung parang gusto kong may mabanggit man lang or masabi man lang yung mga nakasama ko na, si Nor, sobrang laking tulong niya sa amin kasi dahil sa kanya ganito, nalaman namin to. Dahil sa kanya, natulungan kami ng ganito. And hindi kailangan na mag-implement ka ng malalaking project. A simple information na malaman ng isang tao, it's a big, kasi it will, that information, hindi yan mawawala. So hanggang nagagamit nila yung information, malaking tulong na yun sa kanila.
Ayan, grabe. Thank you so much, Ate Nor, for sharing your story. Being a youth advocate dito, sa Pasig, no? Ibang-iba yung na-experience mo and truly inspiring, no? Lalo sa mga chatters natin nanonood na baka ngayon nag-advocate sila ng kung anumang movement for their youths na may mapulot sila. At I know, maraming mapupulot sa mga story yung nakwento mo kanina. Mel, alam mo ba kung bakit natin pinag-uusapan yung experience niya sa mga unang part at yung mga lessons? Ano sa tingin mo?
Siyempre, ayun yung nasa script eh.
Ay, grabe.
Joke lang yun.
Alam mo, kasi Miel, kasi to be an advocate, kailangan clear ang intent at purpose natin. Tama? Tama ba, Tinor?
Yes.
Lagi naman natin yan naririnig sa mga orientations natin yan dito sa CGPH na dapat yung intent natin ay maliwanag and yung purpose kung bakit natin ginagawa, kung bakit tayo nag-advocate ng mga ganitong klaseng programa.
Tama. And there can only be a clarity of intent and purpose if we ourselves are self-aware of the source we are operating from. And in short, yung essence natin bilang tao, what is asking of us.
That's correct. Some call it conscience, some call it spirit.
But for me, Kuya Archie, ang tawag ko dyan, calling by my Creator, my God.
At yes, maliwanag na si Ate Nor dito has the same innate goodness and kindness in her heart to serve and make a difference.
Kaya nga siya ay nakasama natin kaya bilang advocate of child protection sa Cyber Guardians PH.
Yes. Ayan ang pag-uusapan natin. Magbabalik po kami dito yan sa Cyber Chat Season 3.